Yo, what's good, y'all? Back here again, here in 2019. Let's get it. Bringing y'all more new, fresh content. Now, the thing I love about One Piece, I know I've said this before, but what I love about One Piece is that really four things. Okay? Number one, I love all the subplots alongside the world building and then all the literary aspects I can go over. And y'all know I go heavily in depth and plenty of stuff. It's number one. Number two, I love all of the characters and the different things. Number three, gotta love the backstories and why characters do what they do because Oda has made it so that every single character, for the most part, has a reason for why he or she does what he does. Big Ma'am. We haven't seen Kaido, but I'm pretty confident Kaido. You have few people like Wapple, trash ass Wapple, Stelly, and a few others who are just ugh. But you even look at some of the celestial dragons; they are the way they are because of how they were raised. Nature and nurture matters, right? So there's that. But fourth, the literal Russian roulette, shake of the dice, roll the roulette wheel of how Oda can take things. Oda literally sets it up to where he can decide five different paths at any given time, if not more. If not more. For example, I thought Joker had a good shot at dying, but he's keeping him alive for a reason. I don't have a problem with that because Oda does it well. I think Kaido needs to die. But then there's a good shot that Kaido won't drop this arc. People are saying Linlin. I don't think Linlin needs to die. Nope. I don't see it. But Kaido, for me, he really does need to die. I've been saying this for the longest time. But knowing Oda, he can keep him alive. Like Baba Nuka, whatever the elephant dude who should have died from the viruses, Chopper heals him, and he was used as a pawn. See what I'm saying? Oda always doing this. I think Teach needs to die, but there's a good shot he might not die. I think Sakazuki needs to die, but there's a good shot he not die, and I'm not even gonna be mad if he doesn't. Because I remember Tekken 101 just did a video recently about Akainu, what is his true goal and whatever. And he made some very compelling points. I still say that Sakazuki will have the most tragic backstory of anyone in the series. Sorry if there was a little audio, almost some sneezing issues. Anyways, we continue. The point being, here's a proposition for y'all. What if Luffy literally unites the pirate world? I mean, I have thoughts of what should happen, like Sabo dying and a few other things to Sakazuki. I think Isho should die, but Oda may not go that path, especially if he wants to wrap the series up. Cool, cool, cool. Even though I think if you do some of these steps, you can wrap it up even faster, but that's just me. The thing is, what if Oda literally has, and not because the main character in plot device, no, no, no. Listen to the propositions of what I might hold and propose. Oda has subtly set up this big possibility to just fuck us over. Just turn the table on his head. Let's go back to the Void Century, which we know nothing about. Some have theorized, I think Joey Boy being one of them, that the ancient kingdom might have been a kingdom of pirates, meaning that there was no stabilized positions of power, which I find fascinating. It's a fascinating proposition. I don't know if that's to be the case, but let's say, I mean, there were people living. Okay, let's say there was a giant's Velbeth. I mean, I've heard that it was the non-human race. I mean, there's so many things, and again, because Otis leaves things ambiguous. We don't know. We don't know who the moon people are. We don't even know where the celestial dragons, which of the six moons they came from. Like, this is Oda, right? This is Oda having so many pieces on the chess board that you're just trying to make sense of it all, right? Regardless of that, the 20 kingdoms, which apparently were established, rebelled against the ancient kingdom. Now, we don't know if the ancient kingdom was like the world government, doubtfully, but if the ancient kingdom was a kingdom of just rovers, nomads, and whatnot, led by the D clan, or maybe the ancient kingdom was just the D clan and they got along well, and other people weren't having that, became racist, or whatever the case may be, and then you had a war. Maybe there was a battle of ideals, maybe it was a battle for economics, technological reason, maybe a combination of all thereof. Because it seems like the world government has become the go-to for everything. So it makes sense that there were a number of things that popped things off. Regardless of that, okay, let's say we had a free floating thing, and then you had the void century with whatever happened during that. They don't want us to know. Why does the girl? Has anybody besides me wondered over the years why does the world government even care that we know? Like, what is so valuable about that missing 100 years that changed the way that the world think? Like, why does it matter? Even if there was a genocide, the world's seen that. Murders, we seen all of this. What went down so bad or so vital that it has to be the greatest conspiracy in the One Piece world besides Insama's existence? See what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Oda's got so many chess pieces on the board. So let's look at it. Okay. We know that Luffy doesn't like to kill. We know this back all the way back in the manga to the buggy fight. If he dies, he dies. Even Drago. Every time I can use that meme and quote, I'm going to love that quote so much from Rocky 4. But that's Luffy. If he dies, he dies. Luffy not going out. He says I won't beat your ass. You know how many bodies he should have dropped already? Even though Buggy would have dropped his body. Alvida, Captain Axan Morgan, good possibility. Buggy probably should have had to kill Boogie. Captain Kuro definitely should have got body. Don Krieg body bag. Arlong body bag. At least 4 definitive bodies. Sir Crocodile, Marines taking them. Okay, a little unbelievable. All right. That one, no, not so much. And now, really only had to defeat her now. So okay. But Rob Lucci's definitely a 5th one. Gecko Moria, Moria's strong. We don't let that one slide. So we got 5 definitive bodies. Horty Jones is too weak. We don't need to kill him. Caesar Clown should have got a body, so that's 6. Joker should have been a body potentially. That's 7. 7 definitive bodies that I can look at on Luffy track record that he doesn't have. And I maybe, there's like 5 other possibilities as well. Foxy too weak. We ain't gonna include him. The point being, that Oda decides not to do this. Then he made it so, and we saw this early on, then he had Hawkeyes of all people. And Dracula, Hawkeyes, Mihawk. There are certain people to me who are credible sources. Shanks, Hawkeyes, the Dark King Silver Israeli, Admiral Kizaru Borsalino. When we talk about intel, if Dragon would have ever dropped us any intel, if Garp, even though I have my personal thing, but if Garp drops intel, you know it to be certified. There are certain people in the One Piece world who drop knowledge, and you don't even question. It's like gospel, right? Hawkeye says Luffy has the most dangerous power on the sea. The ability to make friends and foes and allies. He made everybody allies. Everybody. Buggy and Sir Crocodile were former antagonists. And they still helped Luffy out. You see the change in the person of Katakuri. Hello? Is this making any sense? Come on now. This dude Luffy stay doing this mess, bro. And so, when you look at this, you look at the Power World, if he does not kill Kaido, you saying, what the hell? I don't know. It's Oda, bro. Oda could just have Kaido just leave Wano. He like, screw it. This isn't even worth it. This ain't even worth it. All right? Because here's the thing with the Yonko, the way that the Yonko were set up, they can lose or not lose regardless. They take a hit to the reputation. Look at Big Man. Because the Yonko are such pillars that any hit to their reputation. See, the Yonko aren't simply the most powerful pirates on the sea. The Yonko are the most notorious pirates on the seas. You see what I'm saying? Pirate captains, more specifically. So the Yonko, if they take any hit to their credibility, they don't have to go out like Newgate. Any hit to the credibility, loss of territory, loss of prestige. See what I'm saying? Any major defeats in battle, it's like a general, okay? A general who's, highly talented, a well-known. If he takes a loss in a battle, Even if he didn't lose a major army, if he takes a serious loss, that's going to be like, oh, give a great example from our world. You look at the American Revolution, right? And the whole reason that France, all right, they needed a reason to join the side of, the American former colonists, these people who were trying to become Americans, right, and run their own nation. What George Washington is like, yo, we need a major win, dog. We've been taking mad L's, fam. And so Washington on Christmas Eve, he rounds up his troops and they go, and pretty much when you had Germans and such partying it up, they take, I think, Princeton and Trenton, if I'm not mistaken, and that was a major. And I think they got a few other wins after that, but that was like the Marquis de Lafayette says, "See here, they can actually get W's." And the French king, I think it was Louis XVI at the time, he's like, "Yeah, all right, we gonna send support." Plus, it also weakens our enemy, which was the long history between Great Britain, England, and France. But so there we go. That being, just like that. So if one, especially with big man being present too, Kaido takes this L and gets booted out. Now, yes, it's a whole power line, but that's the fact that Luffy. Look at, bro, this man got a track record. We'll go get to that. But Kaido gets booted out. Big man got a tarnished reputation because Luffy slid in there, not in them DMs, but he slid in there. Grandson, grandma got embarrassed by grandson, just like Roger was able to sneak in there, steal the poneglyph. Grandma got embarrassed by grandson, if you will, and Big News Morgan was hyping this to no end. Same thing if Kaido loses on Wano, Onigashima, he loses that territory. His home turf, fam. Do you understand how embarrassing that is? You don't lose on your home turf. If the Marines would have lost that Marine Ford, even still, they had to get a new spot because that's embarrassment. Your reputation on the line, though. That's like you at you playing sports, right? And you got a lit squad. You don't have some foreigners. You don't have some people out of town. You don't have a rival team come in and wreck you on your own spot. You don't do that. You don't get shown up. You don't get shown incompetent. You put that smackdown like Luffy got the smackdown put on him initially by Kaido. That's what you got to do. You got to dominate. You can't come in here. Got a great example. Rocky. All right, the first Rocky movie. Even though Apollo Creed won that fight versus the Italian Stallion, he was getting hell and embarrassed in Rocky 2 because he didn't dominate. You can't be coming out here looking like a weak champ, right? If you in the boxing, you in the MMA, you know what the hell I'm talking about. If you in a pro wrestling, you can't have a weak champ. You can't have a paper champ. You got to be dominant. And that's what the Yonko represent. Now, look at Luffy. Track record. Track record. Even though he wasn't directly, we see the first establishment in Alabasta, right? In Alabasta, even though the whole rebellion was going on outside of Luffy, still, Luffy fingerprints all up in there unintentionally, right? You see, what we at? Let's see, Scott here, in his lobby. Even though Luffy didn't mastermind orchestrate it, he don't pull Law, he don't pull Capone. It's actually probably better this way because it's organic. Luffy comes in there with his squad, his crew, and a bunch of other folks from the Frankie family and such, and turns uproar and hell in his lobby. The halls of justice. To the point that they have to call a buster call on the island. But we not done yet. We not done. Luffy stay uproar. We see a little bit on Thriller Bark. A little bit. Saburi. That an admiral had to be called out. Now you can say that was because of the Celestial Dragon. But still, that's Luffy. He punched him. He riled up the supernova at the time, the worst generation. To where they causing havoc on the island. The Dark King steps out of the shadows. And Admiral had to get called. But we're not done yet. Look at Impale Down. This man Luffy stayed getting mad, folks, and caused the only prison break in history. Now, we ain't talking individuals because you had Golden Lion Shika, but Shika did it by himself. This man Luffy caused a massive prison break. Not only did they escape, and we're going to go into Marine 4. Not only that. Level 6ers escaped. Teach Guy's squad got half his squad. The whole thing went to hell and pop because of Luffy gaining allies. Look at Marine 4. Luffy brought a squad with him. Sir Crocodile, Jinbei, all them level 6ers, Buggy, all them cats came to Marine 4 to aid in a way Whitebeard's side against the Marines. Unexpected at all. No one's taking any consideration for it. No one's giving any credit for it. Dress roasted, the exact same thing happened to where you literally have law, Punk Hazard law formally. You have the Hard Pirates in a Straw Hat alliance. But then you have a bunch of the Coliseum dudes, bruh. And Luffy forms a grand fleet unintentionally, might I add. Whole Cake Island. Once again, we go to Zoe. That whole thing, Luffy gains allies. We go to Zoe. Fire tank power in the lines. Sun Pirates. Turning Whole Cake Island up on his head. Luffy don't have the numbers of his squad, but he sure enough get help. Sure enough. Not only that. We go to Wano, where you have the pirate, mink, ninja alliance, samurai, ninja, people saying all this alliance, right? Potential Whitebeard pirates. Potential. The remnants, right? Let's see. Who else up in there that could possibly, because of Luffy's involvement, the Marines might come. Because now you have two. Think about this. Luffy forced two Yonko to ally. Two Yonkos allied because of Luffy. Now, I'm not giving so much credit. I'm just saying this man just does these things. This man does it. You see what he did at Udon. This man does this. Now, you can say, well, yeah, Momonosuke, well, they needed, clarification. But this man brings hope to the people. Now, all that being said and all that painted in the picture, Luffy, if the Yonko do not die, Luffy unites the pirate world. They bring out the 5 emperors, the 5 Yonko, under Luffy's leadership. Now you could say, what the hell? That includes, I'm talking Sir Crocodile. You're going to have Hawkeyes up in that beat? Possibly Joker? Because here's the thing, the pirate world, and that's not even including the revolutionaries. We're just talking about the pirate world. Worse than the Rocks pirates, which we don't even know what's going to go happen with that. We don't even know what's going to happen with the Rocks. Whole Confederation thing going down there. Here's the thing. You can say, well, why would the 4 Yonko work with Luffy? Because all of them would get what they wanted. Luffy is now the Pirate King, acknowledged by Shanks. I still think that, some say it's going to happen. You're going to fight Shanks. I don't know. Regardless of this, whatever Oda does, Shanks going to ride with Luffy. That's without question. All right. Now, initially, I said Kaido needed that, but let's put the perspective. What does Kaido want? He want war. He want destruction and devastation. Luffy promises him, and we know, again, all the Yonko are very intelligent. They all have the quirks, they all have their flaws, but each of them can be reasoned with. We even see that when Lin and Kaido of all people, I know they got history, but still, they were able to put aside their differences and work together, potentially. That tells me, which I already knew he could be reasoned with, but I know exactly on what level. I knew he could be reasoned with because Shanks was able to reason with Kaido, But Kaido is calculated. The fact that he's not willing to just outright kill, he's having kid and whatever. The worst generation, there is that. Even though they may have infighting, whatever, to the top, they would work with Luffy. We've seen that most of them. I mean, come on, Capone Gang, Beige. He was willing to work with Luffy. Law was willing to work with Luffy. Strategist. You tell me ex Drake wouldn't be willing? Kid, after he gets over himself, wouldn't be willing for a greater cause? Especially the knowledge of the world? We already know how Kid thought back on Sabati, so there's that. Now we look at the facts of Kaido. Luffy promises, a grand war. Kaido's on board. Lin Lin, her main goal, let's not get lost in the sauce. She wants a utopic world. If Luffy can repair the relationship between her and the Giants, tell me Grandma's not on board. She practically got wet when Luffy first talked about, coming and challenging her. She was getting that wet down there. But grandson, tell me she could tell me she would not view him as a grandson because he's definitely young enough to be a grandson. So grandson, mama, teach. Now teach is the big seller. But after the whole issue, maybe they come to an understanding. And the D's. They both D's now. So Oda shoehorned in so many elements. If they all went with Luffy, and whether it be Mary Jo, now I think that the Marine, first of all, I don't know what the heck. I mean, there would be a battle. Because the Marines are like, whoa. But imagine the Marines can't stop. They can't stop the pirate world from being unified. Dog, if the pirate world is unified, it's game over. And like I said, we're not even including the revolutionaries. They take out New Marine Ford. And then they make a charge on the red line, Mary Jo. What would you think? And again, Luffy's not leading them, but you see, he is though. He's not directly leading him, but you see how he does with his crew. You see a man like Zoro follows him, a man like Sanji, a man like Jinbei, a man like Capone, a man like Law were willing to ally with this dude, Luffy, even though he goes against how they normally do, because this man embodies freedom and it inspires people. Maybe the Yonko have become jaded. I did a video about the parallels with Luffy, Luffy's parallels. I did it with Kid, Teach, and Sir Crocodile. Maybe Luffy inspires them like how when they first started in their younger days. Remember, Lin Lin wasn't always this cruel. Now, we don't know about Kaido. Kaido, villain. He vibe. But a guy like Bellamy changed his way because of his interaction. Luffy got that Son Goku effect, is what the truth is. He got that Son Goku effect where he changes people. He changes people. Interactions with him causes you to change as a person. Vivi, I could give a plethora of examples. But the point being, what would your thoughts be on a unified world with unified power world with the leadership of Luffy? That's kind of where Oda's heading. Whether we want it to or not, that's kind of where he's heading. There was the keys were there earlier on. The hints were there earlier on, but then we got diverted. We like, no, we can't. These people are too different. Roger never was able to complete it as Pirate King. And I think Luffy's personality is much more amicable. It's much more leans to this than Rogers was, right? Newgate, he saw Luffy when we saw the effect that Newgate had, but that was only one crew and his allies. But Newgate could none of the Yonko can unite the pirate world, but Luffy can. And what caused me to think about this was, all right, the whole thing of 5 emperors, the imbalance, whatever. We know Luffy got to ascend. This is just throwing this out here. These are my thoughts on the matter. I think it's a good possibility with the way that Oda set up the endgame board. And the fact that he doesn't kill people off. I find that to be very suspicious as to why not kill Joker? What point does he serve in the series at this point? You could say, well, why would Doflamingo? And I think Doflamingo is the big wild card in this whole thing. Why would Doflamingo go out, join up when he was defeated? Why was Sir Crocodile? Oh, to get out. He could have even said, I could have got out any time. Doflamingo. Why would Doflamingo? Because Doflamingo, let's look at the core values of the people before you look at any form of things. Doflamingo ran the underworld. And while Luffy may not rocks with Doflamingo, I could see them working together. And that's crazy and insane to think about. Luffy and Doflamingo working together. And I never really put it, any stock in it. Luffy and Sir Crocodile, I think Sir Crocodile should join the Straw Hats. But, I mean, Luffy and Gecko Moria could work together. Luffy worked with Boa Hancock. Luffy's willing to work and reach across the aisle with people he doesn't even agree with. He worked with Caesar Clown, and he was just opposed to Caesar Clown. He worked with Caesar Clown. The dude was experimenting on children and manufacturing weapons of mass destruction. But Luffy's about freedom, though. See what I'm saying? Unexpected one, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. I didn't necessarily expect this video to go this long, but I just wanted to put forth, you know, a potential. Really, it's a good potential, and it may exactly be what Oda plans to do. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.